But we have to also take care of ourselves in terms of still using the road and working on our street lights and then our traffic regulations. Oh, he has come back. He has come. This Easter he didn't go. But I'm saying
they were dribbling us with information, telling us that he has gone on Christmas break. Which Christmas break would you go for?
I don't know which department that were planting. I mean, what's the proper term? Today English is failing me. Forgive
what
me.
is that?
They were mounting. If I use mountain, it's better. They were mounting this signage on the road, but that one is just for zebra crossing signage.
Which areas?
It's around this hospital, the road that is leading this towards the preparatory. And I was happy seeing them, but the part that got me bored was they are only zebra crossing, which is good. But there are also areas that you need where there are speed ramps. You need signage on that. I continue to plead with. I don't know. After here, I'll find out which authority is actually in charge of that particular exercise, so that me, if it's possible, we call them and then plead with them. If I know the situation it is. Every day I'll continue to talk about the Bongo road, that there are no signages on the speed ramps. And so new or even riders who are not familiar with the road and where the ramps are, or the speed ramps are, and they are riding on the road, they can easily get they can easily bump into them and get accidents. And so whilst you are mounting them, it's good that you also put the signage. Road signage communicate to the pedestrian, communicate to the road user how to be able to use the road. So I plead with the authority, road safety, highways, or even urban road, whichever department that is responsible for mounting these signages on the road, they should try and then mount them. I see that they are even putting up more speed ramps around Yoroko area, where the library, the Yoruba people had the school park area. They are mounting new ones there, but they are not road signs to show that when you are coming, slow down, or when you are coming, you are approaching a sign. I mean a speed ramp, so that take time and then slow down, then cross and then continue. It's good that all those things are done, so that because the road is always dark around that area, and if you put the signages there, at least it will help communicate to. We know that we know that we ourselves, we are irresponsible at times when it comes to road usage. The way we speed, the way we ride is irresponsible, but still, we want to save lives, so let's continue to save them in the right way. Let's put the speed ramps there, I mean the signages on them, so that at least if somebody go and misbehave and hit on it and die, that one is his own ancestors that call him. It's not it's not our irresponsibility. So please, the authority that is in charge of that. And along the Navrongo road, most of the speed ramps, the signages on them are also, they have broken down or fallen off. So work on that one too. It will help. This is my plea to the authorities, especially road safety. If it is not under your jurisdiction, at least liaise with the appropriate authority and get them done, so that it will help the road user a lot. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. We would have to go for our announcement, but before that, information on other news platforms also says that the energy minister is likely to suspend some fuel margins today to ease the burden on.
Today's date is what?
Today is 15th.
Oh,
yeah,
so the next pricing window is begins
tomorrow. It begins
okay.
tomorrow.
Yes.
And the 1 Ghana cedi levy is what a lot of people, or let me say, experts have their eyes on.
The truth is that it's a good initiative. You remember, it's a temporary decision that is going to be taken, and regardless, it will cushion us a bit, but it will also stifle. It will also bring problems to some organizations, especially the Bost company. You know, the Bost margins are the revenue they also generate to be able to keep their company running, and so it will also affect them. But it's a good initiative. Just that the temporary nature of it is just for 2 months, right? Or is it 2 months or 3 months?
Well, they've not.
No, it's there.
They have given
they
clear.
they gave.
Oh,
They
okay.
gave. If you check, the communique that came from the cabinet, it was there. I forgot the date, but
We
it's
don't know.
either two-
We're not talking about weeks. Maybe say within 4 weeks period.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If it's week, 2 weeks, if it's weeks, fine. If it's weeks, then that's 1 month. So that's why I'm saying that it's good, but the temporary nature of it, we don't know when this so-called war was going to subside, because that man, now, you can't say things on air, but that man,
He's not going to do the work.
Charlie,
He's not going to do the work.
president, like, look, that's like I'm saying, there are people you can say some things on air, but what is his thinking of what they are doing? Like, because it's just putting unnecessary pressure on the world. And whilst we are also looking at this initiative, I think that it is also time we look home, because COVID, if nothing at all did not teach us a lesson, COVID-19 taught us a lesson that we have to develop homegrown policies that we can depend on, and at least take ourselves off the international dependence, because the economy of Ghana is so much dependent on outside, external economies, and the least, trouble in the international world, we are the people that bear it the most. And so, whilst people are proposing that the refineries in the country should be worked on and put to full-fledged functioning, so that it will help refine the crude that we have in the country to at least augment what is coming from outside. If that is done, this imported oil that we are supposed to bring to the country, it will reduce. And if you look at Nigeria has a lot of refinery, and they are helping. That initiative is what is holding Nigeria, and they have enough to feed their home and then even export to other countries. And so we are also a oil country, but it is, our net wealth may not be compared to Nigeria in terms of oil production, but what we have in the country, we can refine it. If not 100%, it will meet up to 80%, and then the 20% we can supplement it from the other, so that when these pressures come internationally, what happens is that we are able to absorb them to a level, so that we don't, like, this situation wouldn't have come, we wouldn't have had fuel getting to this level. And so if whilst going forward, the initiative, this one city as a legacy debt levy that was imposed, and you don't know when that debt will be cleared, and we will use that money to do something substantial for ourselves. But if investment can go into this angle to make sure that the refineries in the country, I don't know, are they two or three? I have
know of the top.
I have to check, but there are two also. If that is done, it will help us to be able to put all our resources together and refine at least a certain percentage of the oil in the domestically, to help us be stable. Because what is happening internationally, it is not predictable that after this one that it will end there, another calamity will not come again. Because we are at COVID-19, and then Russia-Ukraine war, and those situations affected the country, and we're thinking that, oh, that one is COVID-19 is almost off the picture, but Russia-Ukraine war, that one is not completely gone.
So,
it's done.
like you're saying, how with Dangote refinery in Nigeria can support the African market, oil market. And the last time we were having the conversation with this Samson, he mentioned that before Dangote came into the picture, various countries have had agreements with different organizations outside the region, and so they had little to do in terms of switching to another organization for oil supply. And so this time around, this challenge has actually come at a time that they would have to take decisions that would head those other companies. But then it is also an opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Dangote refineries, so that the cost of even importing the oil would reduce. The distance getting the oil into the country will reduce, because Dangote can produce in high capacity to the extent that they will be able to feed the entire African continent. So if Ghana is relying on Dangote refinery for oil supply in the country, it is not going to be bad at all. At least it would reduce the cost of fuel in Ghana, because we are going to be buying in Nigerian naira, or even if it is even if it is going to be in dollars. At least the distance getting it into the country will not be that much high. So
when it comes to the oil market, there are international regulations that you must meet. It's not just as easy as we just say it here and there. There are international regulations that we must meet, and those who are into the sale of these petroleum products, they sign on to some requirements and agreement, and that is why even when you are going to produce oil or crude in your country, you need to meet certain standards and sign on to certain standards before you do. So if Africa wants to go in that direction, they have to also go in another conditions, some conditions, then sign on to some conditions before they will be able to completely say they are taking themselves off the world market. There are so many regulations.
Oh no, not completely, but at least sharing some of hooking on to Dangote's refinery. And the fact that Dangote is doing this, it also means that he's meeting international standards too as well. Because he's not doing it in dark. He's not doing it in vacuum. He's actually trading in the international market. So at least that tells you that he has that credibility to deal with organizations and countries too as well. But for us, we rely majorly at the EU market, and that is where we buy our fuel back into Ghana. Possibly, we also need to strengthen the production of TOR and increase our production at all, so that the 40%. I understand we are doing 40% in the country and then 60% outside. Now that we are doing this just for the first year of certain production, let's look at the next 2-3 years, 4-5 years, what we would be doing in terms of production capacity. If TOR could be strengthened enough to actually cover at least 80%, like you said earlier, it will help, so that the 20% left, even if we don't, we are facing some of these challenges at the international level, our reserves could show up and at least support us cushion ourselves and not fall into the traps of some of these happenings around us, and actually allow our consumers to face some of these harsh conditions in terms of buying fuel at the pump. Today, it is about 13 cedis per liter, 14 cedis per liter, up to 17 cedis for diesel, and 18 cedis thereabout. Let's see what happens in the coming days, especially now that we understand the Minister of Energy is going to speak to the nation today with regards to some of these happenings around us, and that they are likely to reduce the margins, especially the 1 Ghana cedi levy that is being placed on petroleum products. A lot of market watchers are actually speculating that particular levy could be removed, something that they term as statutory. It could be taken off